Hey everybody, we're going to get started. We took a quick week off last week and we're going to continue our whole and bold conversations with our sisters. And this week we will be having someone that you all know and love, and we are going to get started. So I'm just going to take a minute and invite everyone. All right. Hey. Hey, cousin. How are you? Good to see you. Hello, Dana. How are you? Can you hear me?
No, hold on to me. Hold on.
All right. Are you there?
Can't hear you. All right, can you hear me now?
Oh, I could hear you from the beginning.
Okay. Okay, all right. I couldn't hear you.
Okay. All right. You're good now. I can hear you loud and clear.
Yes.
Okay. All right, everyone. I know that we took a week off last week due to planning and scheduling and all of that good stuff. But we are jumping right back in the saddle this week to finish strong with one of our juicy butterflies, and more than that. So I want to share a little bit. Uh-oh, what's the background noise, Dana?
I'm in a public area.
Oh, my. Okay, that might not work so well for the video. Okay. Um,
It's going the only other place I could go is outside and the planes go overhead.
oh my goodness. Okay, so we're gonna resume our conversations with our sisters, and I do want to encourage everyone to check out the Rebirth 360 celebration invitation as well. We moved the date just so you'll know to January due to my production schedule. I was absolutely um, um, what is the word? Overly confident that we could get it done. And I was overly confident that it could happen. And I'm gonna have to a little bit. So anyway, we want to continue our discussion with our sisters because there are sisters in this tribe doing some fabulous things. And towards the celebration, we're going to continue those conversations with our tribe members to share the parts of their journey, especially when it comes to having a business model and moving forward and staying juiced. Most of the sisters that you've heard from so far um, have participated in my signature program, Juicy Spirit Limited Rights of Coaching Program. And you hear me call them Juicy Sisters. Well, Dana is often known affectionately as Dana, your sister who you know and love. However, she's Minister Dana. She's an administrator. She has a background in finance and accounting. As many of you all know, she has been my right hand, especially when it comes to the ministry and inspirational portion of Rebirth Sunday. But Dana, can you tell folks a little bit about what you do in the world, and then we'll start talking about your business?
Well, as you said, I am had a banking background, an accounting background, and project management background. So currently, I do work for the government. So that's why you don't see me live online very often, because I'm very cautious of my presence on social media as it pertains to working in the government as well. But I do project management for the government, and I love what I do. I have an eclectic background, to say the least, but all things always kind of lead towards numbers for me. So I love numbers up one side and down the other. I'll, whip out a budget in a heartbeat, or, move a project forward really quickly. But that's, I'm a mom of three. I, of course, am a daughter, a niece, and all those good things. So my world is very full, to say the least.
And that's exactly why I wanted to have you on here, because many folks are trying to manage, multitask, and oftentimes start thinking about what they cannot do. And here you are doing so many things and doing them well. But Dana and is it is hard on the audio. It's really hard on the audio.
Yeah,
While I'm talking,
yeah.
maybe you can put it on mute while I'm talking. And then when you get ready to talk, then you can come off of mute.
Yeah, let me see if I can do that. Can you hear me?
Use your actual screen to put it on mute if you can. Vicky, we're aware of the noise. We're aware of the noise from the start, my love, and we're trying to work on that right now. We're not going to focus on it too much longer. We're going to keep it moving. Thank you for being here all the way from Costa Rica. Shout out to my Costa Rica family. Okay, I think it worked because I don't hear your noise. So right now, taking a moment while she is at work to come and share as she always does. And one of the reasons why I wanted to bring Dana courage, because many of us are doing more than one thing. We're in this world where we're doing more than one thing. And Dana and I have partnered together on a few things, and one of them is the investment in gold. As you can, you may have heard her talk about this before, or heard us talk about it before. She started off as a client, and one of the things that I loved about Dana, a lot of times when we get really caught up in, I don't have it, and if I don't have it, I can't do it. And one of the things as a client is Dana always would find out how she could do it. And so she started assisting and supporting me, and I started to learn more about her skill level. And in addition to that, we saw opportunities for business. And it's a beautiful thing when you can go from client to friendship. That's one thing, but it's another thing to be able to partner in business. And I want to say the whole tribe will eat. That's what I mean. And so Dana and I have done business together with regards to the goal, the investment in gold, and she's still winning in that area, teaching her own class for those who are working on breaking the poverty mindset. Um, and and sometimes even if we grew up middle class, even if we grew up having certain things, the lack consciousness can show up, and before you know it, you're in a poverty mindset, just robbing Peter to pay Paul. That's a poverty mindset. And so a lot of times you don't believe that you can save. So Dana has created a very basic program that allows you um, really face that part of your inner conversation. So Dana, you want to say more about that, please?
Yeah, I apologize if you all hear background noise. I'm in a open area, so people are walking through. But yes, growing up, even for me, I can't necessarily say that I was poor. I can't say that because I grew up.
Right. You know
So I
what,
can't say
Dana?
that I grew up in a
Move
poor
to another
household, but
area?
it was more like a
Dana,
middle class.
can you move? You are grainy,
You still
and
can't
it's
hear
not
me?
the noise now; it's the signal. So everybody, when you do whole and bold conversations
Okay,
with me, you need to not be outside so we're gonna do better with this because last week we had somebody at the beach. This week we got somebody, so we're gonna do better with this, or we're gonna all be outside, planning to be outside in the park, which is fun. That's
yeah,
good.
I can try.
I
I can
can
try to go downstairs, but it's gonna be. Oh, that's good. Okay. Okay. So yeah, I can't really say that I grew up in a poor household, but a middle class. I will, say that I grew up, in a very low, two income household where my parents did own a home. They bought their own home. They had three kids, so I'm one of three. But am I back?
now. I
You can't hear
can.
me.
I heard. I always knew what.
Okay. Oh, okay. Well, I always knew that, there was a sense of lack still in the household, because my mom would either, scrounge to get lunch money, for me, or scrounge to get, money for food, for groceries. So I always knew there was something still missing,
Mm-hmm.
financially in the household. And I knew that growing up, my mother was, she was a secretary in the school system. And my dad was contracted for the government. So, they made pretty good money, but in a small town, there's only so much you can make. So I always knew that, I didn't want to be the secretary because there wasn't any money in it. I always knew that I didn't want to, be in a low income job because I wanted to be able to sustain for myself and my family. So You know, even though I didn't finish college, I knew there was something I had to do to bring in the lack conscious household. So I worked my butt off from day one. From the time I turned 16 and knew that I could work, Mama went to work. I went and I worked in retail. I worked in just you name it, I've done it. I've done retail, I've done eyeglasses, I've done sales, business to business sales, government sales, finance, you know, but each time I went a little bit higher and a little bit higher and a little bit higher because I knew I couldn't let my income go lower. So I went a little higher and a little higher and a little higher. But over the last few years, what I realized was that my hire can only go so far in corporate industry. So what do you do? What do you do? And then having a family of my own now and having three children and knowing that they, you know, may have aspirations to go to college. And I say may because
Right.
not all children have the aspiration to go to college.
Right.
We got to realize that as parents. So, you know, knowing that I may have children who want to go to college, I had to have the income. And about 6 years ago, my husband and I decided to release our marriage. And here I am, a single
I
parent
want you
now.
all to notice,
So now what am I going
notice
to
that
do?
wording. That sounds like a
So
woman who's
then,
done work on herself. She said, "My husband and I decided to release our marriage." Not a failed marriage. Not,
yeah, yeah,
not a victim mentality. We released our marriage. But go ahead.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we released our marriage, yes. And you know, I as a single mother now, I'm having to realize, oh no, I have a one income household. I have three children I have to take care of. What am I going to do? And so when I began to research and look at opportunities and ways to not only bring in more income, but take the income I currently have and increase it, level it up, I went in head
Mm-hmm.
first and dove deep. Hence, gold savings. Latanya came to me about, you know, this opportunity with gold savings, and it was so ironic when it happened. And I don't even know if you realize this, Latanya, but it was so ironic when it happened because at that time I was then studying about gold and
Mm-hmm.
silver and all metals, precious metals. And so I have been researching, how can I, you know, really start to save in gold? And I found a company and it was okay. It was, you know, it did what it did. And then Latanya called me up and she said, Dana, I have something you have to look at. And when I look at, you know, anything to do with money, when I look at it all the way through. And Carrot Bar's goal saving was just the answer for me on so many different levels. And so I dove head in first. And Latanya and I worked together along with another sister, Sabira. And my savings, let me tell y'all, before I was not a saver. I was not, I was not. I would try to save.
You're breaking up. This is the good part. I want to hear the good part. You were breaking up. You got to say that part again. You got to say. You got to say that part again because you said I was not a saver and it broke up.
I was not a saver. I would try to save. I wasn't a saver though. You know, I would try to save, but it was easy for me to dip into my savings. And that's where I would make a lot of the mistakes when it comes to saving because it's so easy to go to the bank and pull the money out, right? So carrot bars was an answer for me on so many levels because number one, it's not that easy to get to. Because when you go into a precious metal, you got to then convert that metal, exchange that metal into a currency. Okay, you got to exchange the money into currency, not the other way around. in order to take it out. You also have to, have the access to get to it, how you doing, on a regular basis. And it's not that easy to do when your money is overseas. See, when it's down the street at the bank, it's real easy to get to it. But when it's overseas, it's not, you can't just go and withdraw it. So this was the answer. And then the other piece to this was, it's willable. That alone meant the world to me, because I talked about my kids and their futures. So if something happens to me, the money, hear me, not the currency, the money that's in that account goes.
Look at her passion. She's already talking about metals, but I'm talking about your class. I want to get to your class, and I want to get to your current project. Don't start teaching the gold class, because I know that's your passion.
It is. And you know how I am.
We've already done a recording just for the goal. You know what I'm saying? For those of you who haven't been in the tribe for a long time, we've already done a presentation about investing and saving and becoming your own feminine economy. A lot of us don't believe that as women, we're looking for a knight in shining armor. And we want someone to be our ATM, our backup plan. A lot of times when women who are heterosexual think about having a man, a lot of times what we think about is being taken care of and secured in that way. But those of you who are single, those of you who are divorced, those of you who are widowed, then you probably want to start thinking a little different about your own feminine economy and the legacy that you want to leave, because many of us did not inherit anything but debt or survival mode. I'll say that again. Many of us didn't inherit anything except for debt,
right,
survival mode. And you all know that when something happens in a family, what will happen today to your children? If something happens to you, can they bury you without going into debt? If something were to happen to your significant other, can you maintain the bills and the expenses without the income of that significant other? So that's a real thing, and a lot of times it's something that we don't want to face and talk about. What I love about the savings is it positions you to be able to invest in not only your vision, but it positions you to be able to invest in another business. And so she's done that. So let's move forward and let's talk about how you got to, what did you start seeing that made you create the class that you created? Give us the name of the class, Dana.
And I hope I'm not, you froze a little bit. Can you hear me okay? Because I saw you for, okay. So for me, what happened was, as I began to save and share this information, I realized people don't really know, just like I didn't, people don't really know how to take the current money that you have and understand that it can go further, it can invest higher, it can produce for you the things that you wanted to do. And once I began to do the research, I said, I've got to share this. I have to share this information. And what did it for me was when I began to learn the difference, because you all heard me say exchanging money for currency, right? When I began to learn the difference between money and currency, and then when I learned that there is so much information out here that people just don't know about, I had to start a class. I had to share. I had to begin to teach this.
Tell us the name of your class.
Oh, like, how many people actually look up the legal definition of money? Who's going to know to go to a legal dictionary, number one? But there's a legal dictionary, there's a legal definition for money, and it's not what you think it is. You know, I teach about.
But tell us the name of your class. I'm trying to get to the name of this class.
Oh,
come on, girl.
So there's the one that I teach is called DNA Growth. DNA Growth is a 6-week class. DNA Growth, I apologize. Look, I'm just talking. DNA Growth is a 6-week class. It's a 6-week class that talks about money, what it is, what it isn't, the myths that it talks about, we learn about gold, we learn about the history of money, we learn about the Federal Reserve, and then we also take a small dip into other ways to invest your money. And so we really set up from the beginning some very basic fundamentals
when does the next class start?
That we just aren't taught in school. October is the first Tuesday in October. I can't remember the date. First Tuesday in October. I think that's
after the Juicy Spirit Womanhood retreat. It sounds like it's directly following the retreat that we have in October. She can't hear me. Her sound is going in and out, so she can't. I'm sorry if it's sketchy and you hear us talking over each other. She can't hear me when I begin speaking. So that's directly after the Juicy Spirit retreat that we have coming up. All right. So let's move forward. So not only are you doing that, you are also doing another business. We're talking multiple streams of income, ladies, because let me tell you something. Just because you see people being an entrepreneur, everybody is not, one, meant to be an entrepreneur, two, are in a position that if they became an entrepreneur, that they could sustain themselves. And so I love having Dana here because last week we had someone who retired from living her passion. The week before we had someone who kind of moved into another passion that she didn't consider a passion. And now this week we have someone, I call this steal away. When you steal away with a plan and a strategy. And so now you just heard her talk about 2 things: goal, which also pays you. She doesn't just save, but it also pays you. Now she's teaching something that she loves and is passionate about, which also supports her. And now she has another business. So tell us about that one, especially the product that brings all this weight off of you in 2 weeks.
Yeah, so I also decided, I need to make some healthy changes. I needed to drop a little weight, but also change how, I'm eating and how much water I intake. But I'm really passionate now that I'm, over halfway through my 40s on really taking my health serious. And so with that, I aligned with some people and began to look into the products from Modere. Modere is a health, their hashtag is Live Clean, because it's a company that's really into natural products, not just weight loss, but joint supplements, hair care, skin care, household cleaning products. So it's a full gambit. And I love it because my first goal was to lose some weight, right? Actually, my first goal was I had frozen shoulder and I needed my joints to clear up. So the first product that I tried was a joint supplement, and it worked wonders. I had a procedure on my shoulder because I had frozen shoulder, and my healing process was taking so long. And the moment I started the joint supplements, my healing process was like 30 days. 30 days. So after that, I was a believer. So I said, well, let me try something else. Let's try the weight loss. One day challenge.
Yeah, you're frozen and you're grainy, but let's keep going. If you can move it, I'd rather deal with the noise and hear you than have it break up like this. No, you're good.
Well, let's try one more time. Am I still grainy?
She's on Modere and she's lost 7 pounds on it.
Yay! Yes, Kathy started about, I guess it's been about a week or two, right, Kathy? And so that's awesome to hear that you've lost 7 pounds already. And let me tell you, I started with a 21-day challenge. And my 21-day challenge, I lost the 10, the 10 pounds that I was trying to lose in 2 inches. I was trying to lose 3 inches, but I lost two. And that was with me not even really trying. I'll be very honest. My schedule is so full. I don't always have time to exercise. I try to get my steps in. I try to walk, but I don't have time to hit the gym and to go out on my 6 mile walks like I normally do. But the product that I tried was Trim, and I loved it. The taste was good. It's a little pricey, but my health was worth the value of the price. Kathy is trying another one. I think she has the lean sculpting system. And to see that she's lost 7 pounds
Wow.
already, that's amazing to me. And so many people in the group have been trying it and losing. We have one young lady who's the results are just amazing over the last 5 months that she's been on the products. But, outside of just being a stream of income, the whole product, I mean, we have natural deodorants that I gave my 8-year-old because I don't want aluminum under her underarms. I didn't want to do that to her. So natural deodorant that I gave my 8-year-old. My son had tried, this was a mother's horror. My son had tried one of his classmates' pink pill, the Ritalin, I think it was, but it was a pink pill. And he was like, Mom, it calmed me down. Maybe I should go to the doctor. I was like, oh, no. So I went in, found a focus pill. He's been taking it religiously. So the natural piece is what drew me in. That's what appealed to me. It was something that I was looking forward to, and the income has been good along the way, and it's just about sharing.
Now that's at least 3 businesses, because even though goal is an investment, it's the investment that pays you. So here we are, you have 3 business, multiple streams of income. You're working your job. Now here's the juicy part. Let's get to the juicy part. How do you manage to keep a commitment to stay juicy with all of this? Because a lot of women who do multiple things slip very easily into their masculine energy. And we do business the way this world has taught us to do business. And that doesn't mean anybody is wrong. What it means is that we have to remember, we used to do multiple things. We're born to do multiple things, but somehow we've lost our feminine essence. So tell me how you have, doing all of this, what commitment have you made to stay juicy?
So the commitments that I made to myself to stay juicy was, one, stay in community. That's the first and foremost. Stay in community. Even if it's a small group community, stay in community with my sisters. My juicy butterfly sisters keep me going. I tell you, that support, shout out to the butterflies. Because that support system means the world, I'm telling you. So that's the first thing. The second thing that I do is I definitely, I stay in my creativity. So I've been creating things that I enjoy that are coming soon. I don't want to give too much, but I love aromas. So I'm into oils and aromatherapy. So I stay creative in that space, to stay, keep me calm, me relaxed, and just doing something that I love to just flow in naturally. The other thing I do is I try to do one of the two once a week, either take a bath or go get a massage. Either take a bath or go get a
But
massage once a week.
what mindset
Because those are the things
have you
that
made to
relax
be
me.
able to stay in your feminine? And how do you know when you're getting out of it? How can you tell?
When I'm getting out of it, everything in my shoulders
Mm-hmm.
start to do this. I start to feel my back tense up. I start to notice pains now, so I'm staying aware of my body, my space. I stay aware of it because I notice I tense. I start to get irritable. My face starts to do this more instead of this more. So you have to know and recognize yourself in order to be able to, stay in that process. The other commitment that I made to myself was to just journal, check in with myself, and go back and read what I wrote. It's one thing to journal and write stuff down, but it's another thing to go back and read what you wrote, because then it's in your face and you see how you're really feeling and how you're really seeing yourself. And so that commitment to me, to journal and to go back and read it, it was harsh at first. It was difficult, but when you're creating new
One of my
grooves,
sisters
when
just
you're
came from Fix
creating
My Life.
shifts,
Come on. We're checking into our apartment and stuff. Doing a live.
Isn't that a treat?
So this is Dr. D, everybody.
I don't even.
This is my private group. That's okay.
Yes, well, hi, private
Look
group.
at this thing that said that.
Oh,
The
wow.
smartphone is listening to us.
Wow.
You're not even in the group, and it said that.
Wow. Sorry, I am taking up all of your group time. You guys are amazing. You are in amazing hands. I'm going to get my loud behind out of this video.
You'll hear from her soon. I will have her here when we can find time. Continue, Dana. My husband's here.
Yeah, so journaling has been a major commitment to me. Journaling and then reading what I wrote, because it's in your face then. You have to stay juicy after reading what you wrote.
Yes.
You can't run from it.
So what do you want sisters to know in terms of doing business from your feminine, that you are still, the ways that you're still incorporating that you went through a rites of passage process. You've stayed close to the process. You're a leader in our community. What is it you want sisters to know as we close out in terms of multiple streams of income, multiple responsibility, multiple commitments? What is it? How do you, what do you want sisters to know?
We all have heard LaTanya say many, many times, level up, play full out. When you begin to play full out, you have two choices. Either play full out and accept everything that's coming and dance your way through it, or play full out and accept everything that's coming and go and run and hide. I decided to dance to my own beat. Dance to your beat, ladies. Even when multiple things come your way, whether it's, with family, with friends, with business, with spirit, dance to your beat. Find the rhythm, find the music, and just dance your way through.
Do you all have any questions for Dana as you all are listening? We've talked about gold investments. We've talked about shifting lack consciousness so that you can get in a position to become your own feminine economy. We have also now talked about health and wellness in terms of, weight, not just weight loss, but health and wellness. And if you notice, and this is one thing before I close out, Dana, what made you do multi-level marketing? Because a lot of us have said we never do multi-level marketing, but what I love about, we said we were done with it. And so what made you do, or network marketing, or whatever you want to call it, because we're talking about multiple streams, but you are getting it in where it fits in, but that's not the final word. Dana has other things in the works, honey, just like all of you. So what made
more to come, more to come.
And she can tell you a little bit about the ReBirth celebration we got cooking. But go ahead, let's talk. What made you do multi-level marketing again?
And yeah, I was definitely one that said I would never do this again. I would never do multi-level marketing again. But you know what? Let me tell everybody something. The game has changed. Number one, first and foremost, the game has changed. Multi-level marketing is not what it used to be. The game has changed. And once you realize that and you can jump in and go with the flow, it's so much easier because multi-level marketing is not in the same business process that it used to be. Now it's a more, it's especially the ones that I join, it's more beneficial to me first and foremost. If it benefits me, then not 9 times 9 times out of 10, it's going to benefit those that are in my tribe. So when it benefits me, that was the first thing. I realized that the gold savings was a benefit to me and my family. I realized that the health and wellness was a benefit to me and my family. So it was natural and easy for me to join multi-level again.
That's important.
And to get the word out.
That's very important in terms of wealth and abundance that I have found. I have found that when I make less money in anything I do, when I'm doing it just for the money, when I'm doing it just for the sale, when I'm doing it because I'm stressed, when I'm doing it because I feel like I gotta do something. It's a whole different thing when you do it because it has some meaning to you. Because now you're not selling, you're sharing. And honestly, I do think that that's a big part of the feminine business, any kind of business you're in, any kind of product you have, any kind of thing you do. And it's hard because we're around people who do hard sales, who are very aggressive online, and we want to copy what we see other people doing. And that's another thing, sisters. Copying what you see other people doing is the quickest way to take you out of your own abundance because you don't have their assignment. And when you try to function like somebody else and you don't have their assignment, you don't have their anointing. And so what you see somebody else doing, sometimes it makes you have to effort more. So what Dana said is so key. She said, it benefited me, so I know it'll benefit my tribe.
Yeah. What's that song? I'm different. Yeah, I'm different. Yeah, you got to be different, and the whole game is different. So you can't go the same way everyone else goes. Sometimes you got to make your own path or create a new path for everyone else to follow, especially if you're the leader.
So thank you so much for sharing. If there's any closing words, anybody has any questions, Dana can come back to the thread and answer any questions that you have about the gold, her class. If anyone has Dana can post the link. I'm not in a position to post the link while doing the live. Or someone who has the link can post the link or you can give it. You want to give the link to your class? I think she froze.
Yeah, you can, if you go to my Dana Veasley fan page, can you hear me?
So basically go to her Dana Veasley fan page. First of all, like the page and then check out the links there. A lot of times when we're looking for stuff, it's really already connected under people's profile. So I think she's having some audio challenge. And then the third thing is you can also, if you have any questions about any of the health and wellness products in terms of joint support, energy, or you're looking to supplement your income, connect with Dana in the comments. If you can, I would like for you all to ask the questions in the comments so that other people can see it and don't have to ask the same question over and over again. We benefit in tribe when we share in the group. So I want to just thank everyone for joining today, even though we missed last week. I don't think that I'm going to be able to do poll and bold conversations for the month of September. We're going to begin heavy production this month. And so I'm going to find another way to be able to nurture our tribe, and keep us connected. And so I may need your help to do that. If you haven't checked out the invitation, I'll also post the link to now. We're going to be juicy in January. And so Latanya's getting ready to finally release this book, and I want everyone in this tribe, your friends, your mama, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your hubby, to join us to have a good time in the middle of the day in January. We're going to turn up and celebrate. We have done 8 rounds of the Juicy Spirit Rites of Passage process. We are in the 8th round right now. 2019 is going to look totally different for the Rites of Passage. And so we are marking a line in the sand with celebration, only the way that Juicy can do it. And so I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. Thank you, Dana. You know I love you. And I look forward to us continuing to create this feminine economy. Ciao, everyone. Have a good day.